Oh, hi, podcast listeners. There's many ways you can listen to the Real Nerds podcast. You can subscribe on iTunes. You can also subscribe on Stitcher Radio. You want to send us a Twitter message? You can do that. It's so easy, at Real Nerds. Like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com, where there'll be a lot of articles for you to not only read, but to listen to our previous shows. Do you like your stories told through pictures? Then you can also follow us at Real Nerds on Instagram. You can also call us, 720-6nerds5. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Camera, action!
Well, a real nerd knows who shot, and a real nerd can follow the plot, and a real nerd can...
talk film! I'm sorry.
Take it outside.
Well, a real nerd knows who shot, and a real nerd can follow the plot, and a real nerd will give it all they got. Lights, camera, action! Real nerds.
Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast live at Denver FanExpo 2025. I am Ryan, and I am joined by artist extraordinaire, local guy by the way of New Orleans. Introduce yourself. Tell everybody who we got.
Hey everyone, I'm Travis Hymel, artist on books you may not have read, such as The Trailer Park Boys, Ark World, done some covers for the Ninja Turtles, and a few upcoming projects that I can't announce yet, but follow me and you'll find out.
Tease.
Yeah, tease, yeah, spoilers.
Welcome back. Back-to-back years. Thanks again for my Mortal Kombat back-to-back years.
Oh yeah.
And capturing the maybe the most classic fatality from Mortal Kombat, I'd say.
Yeah, I took a few liberties. I was like, obviously this is an audio podcast, but people can picture, instead of just holding up, Scorpion's head, you have a spine wrapped around his head.
Heck
and
yeah.
A nice little decapitated body also.
I think that's my favorite part, is him just holding up his lifeless body.
I can't wait till you go back tonight and show your wife this. Like, I really love the decapitated body in this.
Don't you appreciate it?
Yeah.
The cool thing about my wife, she kind of digs the commissioned art. So, because it's unique, and that's what's fun. And I love that you captured it and took liberties. Like I always said, I just give a blank canvas, and what I get, I hope is awesome, and it's really awesome. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Until he does another show, and then you'll really, thank God he's not around anymore.
Oh, no.
I can say the actual truth about this piece.
I struggled. No, not at all. I'm going to get a frame and hang it up on my way home. I was struggling because I was like, man, I want to do like a Raiden one too, because I think visually Raiden is really cool. Yeah. But I said, I'm going to do a fatality.
Yeah.
And
it's all about silhouettes. That's really striking.
Yes.
When you think about, the iconic fatality, it's either Sub-Zero or Scorpion ripping out their opponent's head.
Yeah.
You have the spine hanging. If you think about how you can envision, you can picture it in your head. It's a specific silhouette, and you actually will not just know who the characters could be, but you know what that is.
Exactly, and that's, I think, important. I think that's when characters have transcended.
Yeah.
People like I think like Superman. The fist back and him punching the air. Mm-hmm. You could just have the silhouette and people know that that's Superman.
Yep.
And as an artist, you want to make it your own, but how do you balance the two between, hey, I know what people want to see, but I don't want it to be what they expect?
So I think that's a good question, and I'm not going to fully talk about it, but it happened on the recent project. So I'm doing a project for Dark Horse, and it's a licensed property. And the thing is, a lot of times when you do licensed properties, and I've done them before, as we talked about, and you have to kind of sometimes stay on model to these characters. But my opinion is, that's cool, you should stay on model, but I don't want to get personally lost in someone else's art style. So I try to find a balance that's between me and the art style, and kind of try and keep it so it's still recognizable, that you can pick it up visually. So there's like little landmarks, I would say, as in characters' faces. There are contour lines, like their silhouettes I keep talking about. if you can nail those aspects, those landmarks, you can still be easily, or the characters will be easily recognizable for you to pick up as a reader, viewer, whatever you want to call yourself.
And I think you're right, because I actually have, well, now I have 3 original pieces from you. I don't know if you remember last year, I also got one of your Green Goblins.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, because I love the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
And I think what I love about yours is not only, I mean, the cityscape behind it is really cool, because you kind of made it abstract. And I mean, I might be wrong, but did you do that on purpose so the Green Goblin is more like striking in it?
Yeah. It's all about, to be artsy-fartsy, it's all about balancing negative and positive space. And working with Phil Hester as an inker, which I think we talked about last time, I did a recent issue of G.I. Joe as a silent mission. It's based on a Real American Hero line.
Yeah.
And it was just a special in April where they were, Image Skybound was releasing silent issues every week of that month, and Phil wrote and penciled the Beachhead issue. And what's interesting, I guess, where I'm seeing how his mind works, and I'm kind of understanding better for myself to actually add to my own art, it's how you balance that positive and negative space. He's very much like a Mignola.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like it's using. It's not just like using black ink to make like a bookshelf or like a skull or something. He's using almost like in shapes, like these abstract shapes to kind of mimic what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I picked that up because you had the original art at your table.
Yeah.
And you see the pencils and then the finished inks, and you're right. It's striking in its depth, I guess. Because you have that one helicopter shot where the pencils, they look cool.
Yeah.
But when you add the ink to it, it just gives it that depth.
Yeah. And you're kind of like, if you like look at that kind of art like Mignola or say filled when it's penciled in, when it's inked, you kind of squint, you can kind of just make out, you can just really see those solid blocks of ink.
Yeah.
And that's what makes the page interesting, because you're actually striking a balance. I think of like the yin yang, kind of thing.
Yes.
There's literally a balance to that on the page, and because you can't just have the ink like just kind of spread out in blocks all over the place.
No.
If you have it arranged in certain ways as a composition, it makes the panel or page more interesting.
Yeah, and it's, going back to the Green Goblin, how you made it your own.
Yeah.
What I loved about it is you actually gave his like chainmail texture. It kind of made it more sharp.
Yeah.
And it looked really cool.
I'm trying to think who I ripped off for that, to be honest. I'm trying to think. There was a couple references at the time, because when I made that specific art, I think that was during lockdown with COVID, and I had lost some like jobs around the time, some comic book stuff. I really feel like when that happened, a lot of the stuff, opportunities I had, which it makes sense, all kind of dried up, and I was a little depressed. And to get myself out of a funk, I was doing different things, like doing sketches. That Green Goblin piece was more of an homage to some of the art that was from the Marvel Universe trading cards.
Oh,
I was doing
I see it now. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
So I can't remember if that was a Larson or who, like, or Buscema.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember whose art was on the card, but anyway, I was doing a thing where I was flipping through. I have a huge album of like 90s trading cards.
Me too.
Yeah, huge album.
Yeah.
And I was flipping through and decided to do like, I'm gonna draw or do an homage in my style, just as a fun thing. I did a few YouTube videos about it, and they never caught on, but I still kept doing that during COVID to kind of keep myself preoccupied in like having fun.
Yeah.
During that time, and a lot of people did stuff like that, and that was what I did.
Yeah, and I mean it's cool. I've on your Instagram, I always love the one I probably brought up the last time is Rogue punching through a dinosaur.
Oh, yeah.
Because I just love your breakdown of that, because how you keep repositioning her to make her right. And then, I mean, dinosaur drawing has to be like super fun.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite things. I I always say I like, if I'm going to pick something to do, if it has dinosaurs in it, I'm in. It's just like my chicken nuggets. It instantly tastes better if they're dinosaur shaped,
I know. I agree. And, a lot of, even in Jurassic Parks now, they're trying to go more towards being scientifically accurate.
Yeah.
But I want the monster ones, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I know, like, there's, like, scientifically accurate dinosaur depictions now, but it almost, to go kind of circle back to what we're talking about, if it's visually interesting, like the way that you might have think about them as a kid or seen them as toys, those are more visually interesting than how it actually is. And that's why you see exaggerated styles. Compared to hyper-realistic styles in comics,
And I think that's why comic art is so appealing to me. Not only like growing up and just loving comic books, but there's something that is so visually appealing about the art form. And, make me sound like a hater, but I'm more of a fan of how you do it. I love the pencils and I love the ink. The digital stuff the coloring is really popular now.
Yeah.
But I kind of dig the, the breakdowns of it,
Oh, yeah, well, I'm a process junkie as well, and I like seeing process videos, so I started making them.
Me too.
Also, the program we use is Clip Studio Paint. It's not a plug or anything for them. I wish they would sponsor me. Listen,
sponsor.
Clip. Clip sponsor me. But they have a time lapse function on it, and if you are a user and didn't know that, well, congratulations. Now you know there is a time lapse function. And it makes it easy. It just works in the background. And so at the end, once I finish the piece, all I have to do is just, finish, export.
Yeah.
And I have this cool piece. I upload to Instagram. I have content. I am horrible at posting content, but when I can, it's a lot of times I try to do more process.
Yeah.
Just recently on my Instagram, I posted. I was asked to do a single. It was a weird project. Just a single page. And it was for this book called The Disavowed. It's from Josh Blaylock. Josh Blaylock is the creator of Mercy Sparks, but he also he started Devil's Due in the early 2000s.
Oh, wow.
And he had gotten the license for G.I. Joe and brought back and worked with Image at that time before they broke away from Image a little bit later, but that's another story. But he was putting out G.I. Joe comics, and he is a lifelong G.I. Joe fan. He loves it. And I'm not going to try and speak for Josh, but I think maybe he had some unfinished business with the franchise. And he took an idea. It's basically G.I. Joe meets The Boys. It's called The Disavowed. It's coming out through Massive Publishing. But in the issue, it's actually also drawn by Pop Man. Shout out to him. Spy Boy and other titles marked for Marvel and DC over the years. Wildstorm stuff.
Yeah.
But I did a PSA, or their version of a PSA that you would get from G.I. Joe.
I love that stuff.
So I actually even probably think it's the bloodiest one single page in the book. I'm hyping it up. I don't know when it's going to come out into stores, but they're doing a Kickstarter right now to do it more like collector exclusives. Massive's trying this thing called their pilot program, where they're trying to use the Kickstarter to get funds to help the print runs, but they want to give the Kickstarter backers something different than what's going to be on retail.
Yeah.
So there is as of right now in July, I am
6th,
thank you.
I had to look at my watch. I have no idea.
My brain is mush.
Oh, man.
But the Kickstarter might still be going on. But I think right now they're close to $20,000, and they were adding on my PSA.
Nice.
And I also have a cover, and I can't show anything just yet. But going back to what I was saying about the Instagram post, I actually broke down my thumbnail. I have a thumbnail of what I was thinking for the PSA, the pencils, inks, and then colors. And kind of show you that whole process. I don't consider myself a colorist, but I did color that piece. And I halfway through the whole process, I realized, what would really make it look like a PSA? And because I drew the backgrounds, I was like, crap, what if I paint the backgrounds? And it's not a big effort, because a lot of that's quick. Even when you're working animation, those painted backgrounds, they look great, but a lot of them are made to be quick.
Yeah.
You know, almost just like going back to talk about abstract, almost like the abstract, just using those shapes so you could just tell it's a house or
yeah, you're
tree.
100% right
Yeah.
because I love old cartoons.
Yeah.
And a lot of those backgrounds were painted by women, and they would just whip them out as fast as they could because they were just, giving them those 7-8 minute cartoons. Like, hey, we need 3 or 4 of them. That's why, the joke of it always repeating in the background. It's because these women had to literally paint those really quick.
Yeah, and it was kind of I guess this is what it's like now.
Yeah.
But I did that and I did a little effect so it looks like a kind of like a still from a VHS.
Oh,
kind
hell
of
yeah!
thing. So people can check that out at Travis_Hymel HYMEL. But it's the Disavow book. You should pick it up. I'm told I'm going to be doing more PSAs in each book.
Fun.
If it happens, it happens. I'm not sure. But I did that one. It was awesome. Look for it in retail stores. I will have a variant cover for it. I just can't really say what it is, but it's fun.
Yeah,
I can
that's
guarantee
awesome.
people will enjoy it.
I can't wait because you also did a horror comic last year.
Oh, the inked Phil. That was what we were talking about, the EC horror story. Yeah.
Epitaphs of the Abyss.
Yep. Good memory, yeah.
I mean, I geek out because you're such a nice guy and you're in town. And so I remember you talking about it, not on the podcast last year because it hadn't been announced, but I got the previews.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw, there he is. So I went and ordered it, and I actually subscribed to the book because it's really fun.
They are. I know diehards, because it feels like it was polarizing when that came out.
Yeah.
And look, if any of those diehards are listeners, I get it. But if you did enjoy it, cool too. Like
and I think you should. You should give them a chance because
Yeah.
they are really, when I was growing up, I loved the Tales from the Crypt on HBO,
Yeah.
and they're always, morality tales. Hey, I'm a really bad guy, I think get away with it, then the zombie shows up or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm always down for that.
And I think the problem is because I love those older EC books too.
Oh yeah.
And I think the bar is set so high because you did have some amazing illustrators.
Oh yeah.
On those books, and I completely get it. And I'm not saying the current batch of creators aren't living up to it. I'm saying there's a bar set.
There is. I have a Tales from the Crypt comic.
Yeah.
And I got it at an auction, and it literally has 3-hole punch in it, and someone wrote on it. But I got it for like $15.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty cool.
Isn't it great when you find those comics sometimes?
Yeah.
Like, whether they're rare or not rare, with like a kid's name on it.
Oh yeah.
So you know whose is whose.
Yeah.
Like my mom used to put my name on everything, even VHS tape.
Oh yeah.
Like if we go take them to a friend's house.
Oh yeah.
So no one could take our.
My mom would put them on the label on the front.
Yeah.
She'd just write Frost.
Yeah.
Just put it in there so we knew. And if we went over to, I don't know what happened if our friend took it. When we go to their house, we're like, hey, man.
Like those Disney, like the blister ones.
Oh, yeah.
Like on the seam, basically writing on the seam, the white seam where it breaks apart, Travis,
Yeah. Did you know those are super expensive now?
I keep hearing that. Is that true?
Yeah. They're on eBay. And
Fake news. Fake news.
I was watching a documentary about Disney. And it's called Waking Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
And it's about the renaissance of their animation division. And one of the catalysts was those clamshell, like, VHS things.
Yeah.
Because they released Snow White and it made tons of money. And they said, well, this new VHS market, let's put Pinocchio on there. The movie's, I don't know, at the time, 40 years old. And it ended up selling millions and millions of copies.
Yeah.
Which basically created the VHS market for everything. It's really fascinating.
Well, and this is all me. I have no clue. Like, I'm just speculating here. But I almost think it was some marketing genius who thought about that clamshell, because what goes better in a kid's backpack, you're going to a friend's house or whatever, than having, instead of like the cardboard cardstock sleeve that a tape can slide out of, you have a clamshell, locks in place. It looks great on a shelf. Parents like it. It's hardy.
And can you still hear it? Like, I can hear how it sounds,
Yes.
Oh,
yes, I can hear it. It's so, again, circle back, like we're talking about silhouettes. You see the Superman silhouette, like the guy flying with his cape and hand out. You see it. When I think of those clamshells, I hear that pop.
Yes.
Yeah, that pop
Yes.
when it happens. Like, so I instantly go there. But yeah, that's why I think it has to be some marketing genius who did that. And also on top of that, there was always the vault, the Disney vault thing.
Yes.
Limited, like it's limited. You do this, it has the nice, the nice packaging.
Yep.
I don't think a lot of other studios were doing anything like that.
And they talk about that, and it's a really fascinating marketing tool.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't exist because they say, well, it's on Disney Plus, but they did. I think it was 7 years. They said in the documentary that come out every 7 years, and then they would do that. They'd say, "Oh, here's a new packaging," and I mean, I'm a sucker for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I love physical media, and I was searching so hard. Have you ever seen a movie called Rumpelstiltskin?
No.
It is horrible, but this little boutique label made a 4K of it. But not only a 4K, but it has a Blu-ray of 8 hours of special features.
Was it Vinegar Syndrome?
No, it's called Terror Vision.
Oh, yeah.
And they had a Blu-ray of 8 hours of special features. A book, so a lot like Vinegar Syndrome, but it also came with postcards, stickers, all this stuff. And I missed it because there's only 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
And I went, we're lucky in Denver, we have a Vinegar Syndrome store. That
we do?
Yeah, that
as my voice goes, we do?
Yeah. So it was in a temporary location, and they're building a big one. And the lady who runs it's very nice. Her name's Teresa, and she's weird like I am. And so they didn't have it, and I said, hey, is there... And they also have used stuff there.
Okay.
And I said, do you get this? Because they partner up with people. And she said, no, that's not one Vinegar Syndrome does. She said, but give me your name, and if it comes in, I'll call you. I said, I mean, who's going to trade in Rumpelstiltskin? And so I gave her my name. No shit, bro. I was driving by there the next day. I was 2 minutes away. If my phone rings, I didn't recognize the number, so I answer it. And she says, hey, Ryan, this is Teresa from Vinegar Syndrome. I said, hey, what's up? I got Rumpelstiltskin in. I said, shut up. She said, yep. She said, it's $55 used if you want it. I'm like, I will be there.
Sold.
The package glows in the dark. It's so ridiculous.
Cool.
But I love that stuff. And, circling back to the comic cards, that's what got me into comic books.
Yeah.
My friends were... I was poor when I was growing up because my parents got a divorce and I had a single mom. And my friend had doubles of the Marvel 1990 ones. Those are my favorite cards because you flip them over and be like, Spider-Man's been in this many fights. He's won this many. And
also immediately out of date by the time anyone opens
totally
those.
Out of date. But the first card I ever got was Spider-Man versus Green Goblin.
Yep.
And I remember reading the story, and it just touched my heart. And to this day, Spider-Man's my favorite. Green Goblin is my favorite. And I cry sometimes when I read comic books.
Yeah.
Joe Kelly's really good at that as a writer for me. I don't know if you've read I Kill Giants.
I was about to say, are you going to say I Killed Giants? Because I bawled.
Oh, man. So I didn't know he wrote... I didn't get the individual issues until after the fact. But I was a big fan of his because he wrote really cool Spider-Man stories.
Yeah.
And so my friend says, oh, you got to check out this I Kill Giants. I'm like, yeah, sure. I remember sitting in my chair, and I get to the reveal of what happened with the mom and what she's actually killing.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Can it just be a real giant? Can it just
please,
be a real... Yeah.
Please, but, it's such a great medium for that. Because when you combine the art with the words, I think it's one of the true great American art forms is comic books. And it's awesome that you're a part of it.
Yeah, I kind of forget about that sometimes, and I hope it doesn't sound pretentious to talk about it like that. But like it hasn't fully like that wonder or the excitement hasn't left me or anything. But it does, it does become a job.
Yeah.
You're doing your work. You have deadlines. You got to put it out. But then sometimes, like my mom's a very sweet lady. She was like, I was stressed out about a deadline, and my mom's like my biggest fan.
Yeah.
And I tease her about it, which I probably shouldn't.
I tease my mom all the time. It's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. I do the 2 for flinching on a 7-year-old woman.
Dude, we're this one and the same. Sir. We're one and the same.
I'm just kidding. I don't really hit her that hard.
No.
But
it's just to mess with her.
yeah, but she could tell, I was stressed out, and she actually sent me, like, we were on Skype, and then maybe a few days later, she's like, hey, I went to go pick up some of the books that just came out. I had a book called The Loose End that the last issue had just come out. And she insists on going to pick them up at the comic book store.
Oh, that's awesome.
And she's like, oh, I just got it. And I have a friend there. And she's like, oh, I said hi to your friend who works there. And I think you should just remember that it's great that you get to do what you always wanted to do as a kid.
That is awesome.
And remember that.
That's awesome.
And I was like, oh, I'm not trying to tear up now, but I was like, that was really sweet. And I needed to hear it because I was super stressed out at the time. And look, not that people don't get stressed out. It was just like all that was coming at once, and I just kind of spiral sometimes in that.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a great story for everybody because no matter your job, you can get stressed out, and no matter how much you love it, because we only see you here and you're at the con, and, you're always very friendly and you have to be on, but, there is a real, like, impetus for you to get stuff done.
Yeah.
That, I mean, I couldn't even imagine that kind of pressure. I mean, even in taking a property like G.I. Joe and you're inking it, there is some sense of responsibility in that.
Yeah. I almost want to get a banner added to my backdrop that says Phil Hester's worst inker. That's how I felt. That's how I felt a little about it. And to be honest, probably fine with the inks, but little peek behind the curtain. I can't give like a really good explanation of what happened because I don't fully know. But we didn't have a lot of time to actually complete the book. It wasn't any one person's fault they got there. It just got like, that's the easiest thing I could say. So we didn't have a lot of time, so I was trying to get the inks done as fast as I could with trying not to sacrifice all the quality.
Yeah.
And sometimes, to tell the truth, you're under deadline, you just got to get the stuff done. You got to get it out the door. And you might not be 100% satisfied with whatever you're doing. That's why I do think creators, but it's kind of a side note, if people want to make comic books, and I always hear this, I have an idea for a book, or I just never finished it. Set a goal for yourself, an achievable, realistic goal. Let's say you want to do a 4-page comic. Set a date when you want to get completed. Have that. If you have the goal in mind, make your own deadlines, what I'm getting at. And have that, because even if you're getting to your deadline, regardless, have something done. Have something done, even if it's just for you. Have something done. Do it a bunch of times, and you'll get better for it. I think that will be helpful.
And that's actually great advice. You know who says that same thing is Arnold Schwarzenegger. He has
me and Arnold are practically the same guy.
Pretty much.
Same body, same
totally.
build.
But he has a great book. It's really easy to read. It's 7 steps to be your best self, something like that. And at the end of the book, he literally says the same thing. Because, everyone looks at him and how, buff he is and stuff. And he says, it's not about how much you can lift. It's not about, how many times you can do it. It's about doing it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you have to be the one that sets that goal and do it. So I agree.
Well, you're using like Arnold in this, but when I think about it, I think of the movie What About Bob and Babies. I'm going to quote another great book, Baby Steps.
Yes.
That's what I keep thinking of, to do it in baby steps.
Yes.
And as stupid as that sounds, if people know what I'm talking about, you'll probably understand it. But there's a book in the movie basically about accomplishing things, right? Like it's called Baby Steps, but you can kind of infer what that means. So just your I'm not gonna go on and on about that movie, but you do have to set achievable goals for yourself if you're not getting anything done.
But you're right, because I think sometimes it's tough at the time, but we as people thrive on pressure.
Yeah.
So if and I mean something like, when you take a G.I. Joe thing, it has to come out.
Yeah.
So you either get it done or they're going to find someone who will.
I've been the guy that's been hired to help on those projects, and it's not throwing anyone under the bus. I did, I don't even know, I did finishes on a project.
Yeah.
And it just, hey, deadline comes up. God knows whatever the reason is.
It happens.
But it's a team thing to get to the goal line at that point. So we're working with the penciler, and I apologize, I can't think of AJ because he did a great job penciling the book. I just know the deadline crept up, and I was brought on to help. I was brought on for finishes. I'm really just inking a lot of his work. He didn't really need any like. There was a few panels that the difference for the audience that between just inking a project and finishing it. Much like the word just finishing, you might be inking some stuff, but there might be some panels where I'm drawing maybe a few faces or a hand or something. I'm literally finishing certain parts of it, but it's not like I'm penciling or taking anything away from AJ.
But books like that, they have to come out.
Yeah.
It's not like, Jim Lee's Hush, where they're like, we'll wait for you.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I collect Spider-Mans, and a lot of times, because Spider-Man's twice a month, you'll have, Mark Bagley draws the first, 10 pages, and then the middle 4 pages are just a completely different artist.
Yeah.
And then he finishes it, but that's what it is.
Yeah. And I tried to help make sure I kind of stuck with AJ's style. And, hey, we got it done. And that was what the important thing is. And it was still, even if it wasn't 100% AJ, it's still his vision because I believe he also co-wrote it, and I might be mistaken, and I apologize, I can't think of everyone's credits. It's The Great Garloo. It's a Oni Press book.
Yeah.
It was a Great Garloo number 0, and it ties into the Nacelle verse.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're familiar with Oni Press's having the license with Nacelle. So there's RoboForce on Tubi.
Yeah.
There's actually an appearance by RoboForce in the book.
Really?
Yeah. And no, I don't want to spoil it, people. There's a few other Nacelle-verse properties that pop
Very
up
cool.
in there, but RoboForce is literally in the first 2 pages. It's in previews. People have seen it.
That's awesome.
But people can pick that up. Probably still order it. Trade paperback eventually is going to come out of that, where they collect all the other Nacelle-verse books and put it under one trade.
Nice.
But that was just helping get that book across the goal line. I just got hired for another inking project. Now this is just inking project for Oni Press. I just don't know if I can say the book for sure. But anyway, follow me on Instagram, Travis _Hymel, Hymel, and people can follow along because when I actually do post on social media, it's when I can actually talk about things.
I can vouch for you. It's awesome stuff. And I think you're also touching on something that's really important. You're very versatile. If you can ink and pencil, then it kind of opens the door twice for you.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to do it, not all, the pencil and ink, penciling and inking. But I like money. To quote Adam Sandler in Wedding Singer, when he's trying to get the job, he's I like money. I'd like more of it.
Please?
I'm a fan of it.
I'm a fan of it. Yes. My favorite movie of his.
Yeah. I butchered the quote probably,
no,
but people would probably
that is
know.
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And I think it helps. I mean, because your art's so striking that, you can, I read so many comics, I can actually tell inkers too, and it's a really cool thing.
It is, and different inkers compliment in different ways. Phil, was it you? I was comparing it. It's I don't have to French it up, or anything. I don't have to embellish too much because certain artists, you can look at their pencils and they're so tight. They're in terms of form and everything. They're not loose. It's not loose very sketchy lines. It's very together. You can tell exactly what he wants, or even if you can't, because when we were talking about all the black ink and everything, you might look at Phil's and it looks like a paint by numbers. And if you look at paint by numbers, you can't see the image until you actually start putting color in. It's still like that, but with black ink. And sometimes I literally have done that. I'm oh. So to go back to the beachhead thing, that's a silent issue.
Yeah.
So it's about two I guess orphans in a vague European kind of country, and Beachhead is fighting Cobra and falls out of a crashing helicopter. Falls right in front of the kids, and he's injured, and the kids help him. And there's it's all silent storytelling, but because there's no text or anything, you don't know that much about the kids. But when I was inking, spoilers for people, just so you know, there's one particular page when they're bandaging up and there's show background elements. And there's photos showing that their parents were, one of them was in the military, one of them was a doctor. You see a doctor, like other like things that before she's actually like doctoring Beachhead up. But you see little things and telling that they were a family. There was a family photo, it's just them. And there's other little hints to other elements in the book. And it's all in the background. And I didn't see it until I was starting into ink, because he does like use black ink and some more shapes and stuff. And I was like, oh, the form, I now get it now. Once I inked it, I was like, oh, I see it. I can see it now. Okay.
And that's what's cool in your portfolio is you see the pencils and you can kind of see what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, and obviously the penciler knows what's going on because he is giving you the direction of this needs to be completely inked. But when you compare the two, it's very cinematic.
Yes.
Because the camera that he's using is changing a lot, but you don't get lost.
Yeah.
And I think and I've told this to you before, if you're a great storyteller with the pictures, even if there's word balloons, you should be able to cover them and follow the story. And I think you can in that one.
The number one, well, everyone's going to probably have a different opinion, but my opinion on it is the number one thing that's important is storytelling for in an artist's toolkit. Being able to draw really well, like that's obviously in our toolkit, to use like bunny ear, like the quotation, but you need more than just that. You're telling a story visually. It's not like you're a film or animation or anything where you could just watch and let everything just flow. You have to think panel to panel. Does my illustrations carry that?
Exactly.
And because there's nothing in between the gutters. You kind of have to let the reader easily put together what's happening from panel to panel. But it's a challenge because you don't want to jump too far in certain scenes. You want to be able to something easy to follow and understand.
I agree 100%. I talked about this last time. I know it's visually and we're talking about it, but my Mortal Kombat stuff, so, last year the Cassie Cage one, you can tell she's tense and she's about to fight something.
Yeah.
And I think in just a single image, if you tell a story like you told with just one figure, your mind should be able to say, hey, something bad's coming this way and she's ready for it. Or even on the new piece, you can tell that Sub-Zero recently ripped his head off.
Yeah.
Just because of, it's the tension in the muscles that you're drawing that no one sees, but you can see. I don't know if that makes any sense at all.
Well, it's something, and of course, this is an audio podcast, but to kind of visually describe something real quick. So, when you think of the pose we're talking about with, one of the characters doing a fatality and ripping the head out, they're standing, really doing a powerful stance and holding the hand up, which looks great. And I do know it, but I think what I like, I kind of did a Jack Kirby-esque thing where I gave them more of an action pose, or you break their legs apart a little bit, you spread that stance. And I had it more if anyone goes to the Instagram, because I will post the page later to my Instagram as well, that you'll see it's kind of he's ripped the head off, but you can see the spine wrapped around his hand, and that's guiding your eye, kind of going to Sub-Zero's face, who just did the deed. And that sounds way worse than it actually is. And especially with a dead body.
Yeah, well, now there's a hole there.
Yeah,
so.
Oh, boy. This is a rated R podcast?
Oh, totally.
No.
Yeah, totally. Sometimes X. You never know.
But, and then your eye eventually goes to his other hand holding on to the shirt of Scorpion's body.
Yeah.
And it's in shadow, but you can kind of get little peeks at there's a head missing.
Exactly. And that's why I think the piece that I'll post it on our stuff too, because it's so cool. The piece is so striking because you're right. You just gave an art lesson about how to train someone's eyes to follow the action. Because, what you have Sub-Zero doing is exaggerated.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be. because he's ripping someone's head off.
Yeah.
So you have to meld the two.
This is probably an annoying philosophy to have for myself for this, but I refer to it as the jingling the keys method to get people's attention. Like, I just want people's attention. Like, look at me, look at me, or pay, not to look at me per se, but like look at the piece, pay attention to what's happening. And I want people's eyes to go all over the page, not just stay in one particular image. I mean, and people have been doing that for years and years. It is a classic like illustration method of directing people's eyes. From like Renaissance painters on to illustrators. We just mentioned Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby did it. Will Eisner did it. All those guys. It's nothing like reinventing the wheel. It's just not everyone. I don't think everyone thinks about that anymore.
I think it's important to say, because I'm not trying to disparage anybody here, but sometimes the art here, I go, they can draw nice, and it's fine, but there isn't that dynamic to it that this is gonna sound really mean, but that's why they're in like the merchandise thing and they're not in the artist area, because there's not that dynamicness to it. There's not where I see it, on this piece you did for me, you hint at blood pouring from his corpse. And I think I can see some, but is it there? I don't know. But it makes me study the piece.
Yeah.
That's what's missing in a lot of it, I think.
I guess spoiler for you, because if you look at Scorpion's face, the severed head, I did indications that his tears rolling down little bit, like small. It's just very small detail.
Well, I'm here right now, so I'm going to look at it right now.
Yeah.
No one else can see it.
Very minute.
Oh, there is.
So, that little extra twist of the knife.
That's awesome. Well, it's mine, everybody. Sorry. I always tell my wife, because I love that art, and, she's going to be stuck with it when I die. And she's and my comic books. And she says, well, what am I going to do with them? I said, I don't know. I'm dead. I don't really care what you do with them. But it's awesome, and I've probably taken too much of your time.
I kind of lost track of time. We've done this.
I know. We're bad about this.
Yeah, every time we see each other during this show and before, we end up talking to each other for a good chunk of time.
I know. I feel like we're kindred spirits, Travis. Yeah. You're a wonderful person. You're a wonderful artist.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by. Again, give us a shout out to your socials. I mean, I already follow them, but, for everybody who's listening.
You can follow me. It's the same for X/Twitter as Instagram. It's at Travis_Hymel, Hymel, or you can just Google me. I do have a site up, but I usually post more on Instagram and Twitter occasionally. But usually if I post, it's when I can actually talk about stuff and very much keep it like more just my professional stuff on there.
Yeah.
Usually. Yeah. Sometimes there's a few like beer photos, some craft beer photos pop up in there. But give me a follow. Also, as of right now, it's in July right now. I don't know when the podcast is going to be released.
I already talked to Brad about releasing the podcast on time this time.
Wow. No shade thrown there.
No, none.
But I just recently had a book published through Titan, and Ryan's about to die.
Shit.
So anyway, I was saying I just had a book come out called The Loose End. And it's a crime. It's actually released under Titan's hard case crime line.
Oh, cool.
So it's a send-up of like 90s crime movies. It's about Steven. He's an out-of-work screenwriter who gets luckily invited to this studio executive bachelor party because his friend is an actor and he gets invited to it and thinks his life will change. However, someone else finds out that Steven's going to do this, and it's the people he owes money to. He owes money to this mob boss, but to get the debt erased, he has to kill that movie executive on his bachelor party. And anything that can go wrong will go wrong on this bachelor party in Mexico. So it's called The Loose End. The last issue just came out in the mid-June, but the trade paperback comes out in October. It's actually right now available to order. So people can order it that way if they can. Or they can buy the single issues. You might be able to still find them in shops or have them order it for you. And I think, and be on the lookout for the Disavowed #1 whenever that comes out. I was told fall of this year. not sure because it hasn't even been solicited yet.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's all I can think about right now is in terms of some little plugs.
Very busy.
Yeah.
I love it. Thanks for stopping by as always. Yeah, check him out. I'm telling you right now, his Instagram's really fun to follow, so you should definitely do it.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Well, a real nerd knows who shot. A real nerd can follow the plot. And a real nerd will give it all they got. Lights, camera, action. Real nerds.
Thanks for listening to Real Nerds Podcast, a Nebulous Visions production. Stream or download episodes, read articles at realnerdspodcast.com. Stream us on Apple or Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, or iHeartRadio. Follow us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. Twitter and Instagram, @Real Nerds. Watch us on YouTube, Real Nerds Podcast. Email us at realnerds@gmail.com. Call us at 720-6nerds5. Thank you to Sparks Mandrill, Mike at Plan 9 Studios, and Bolognium for all of our groovy theme songs. And that's how you fucking do it.